This is Labelled Disabled, and we have some special guests in today.
Hello.
Laura and Martha, how are we today?
All's good.
Good,
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks very
You're
much.
welcome. You're welcome. So, what has brought you here today?
So, really, we are running this huge health campaign just now. We're really it's about empowering people to take control of their own health, educating people. It's about helping people with their health in a more meaningful way, bringing the body back into balance, reducing chronic inflammation through test-based nutrition.
Through test-based nutrition.
Just to empower them.
Just to empower them. What is test-based nutrition for the audience?
A simple test.
A simple test.
A simple test,
dry blood
right?
test.
A dry blood spot test that people can take at home. So you don't need to go to the doctors and get a vial of blood done or anything like that. It's about empowering people to take control of their health, because we are living in such a fast-paced world,
Yeah.
aren't we? Everything's on the go. It's totally convenience foods. But the problem that we have got right now is that we're consuming too many omega-6s in our diet. We're not consuming enough omega-3s in our diet. Where does your omega-6s come from? They come from all your processed foods, your ultra-processed foods.
So, what is an omega-6
Right, so-
for layman terms? Like,
Right,
if
so-
you said that to me until you explained it, I didn't know what you were talking about.
Okay, so we'll break it down, won't you? There you go.
So they're essential fatty acids, right?
We
so,
need them, but our body doesn't produce them.
Yes,
Right.
yes. Our body doesn't produce them naturally. We need to get that from our food. But due to our modern day diets, a lot of us don't consume enough omega-3, but we get too much omega-6s from our, like Martha said, processed foods, ultra-processed foods. And when your cells are high in omega-6s, that's when you get inflammation. And now inflammation is not bad. Our body naturally goes into an inflammatory response. If you've had trauma, if you get an infection, the inflammation is there to protect it. But it's when that inflammation becomes chronic, that's when you've got a problem. A lot of us, as I say, have chronic inflammation, but it could take a long time to manifest itself, and become symptomatic, whether it be, chronic pain, mental health problems, gut issues, that can all stem from chronic inflammation
And
on a cellular level.
We'll look at the cells, like, what is it, 37 trillion cells we've got in our body.
Yeah.
How damaged these cells are, or how healthy these cells are, will predict what our future life is going to be like.
You are a product of your
The
cells,
choices you
basically.
make every day, you're
Yeah,
a
what
product
you
to
eat.
that. Aye,
Yeah,
like,
what you
what
eat.
you eat,
Yeah.
what you consume.
Yeah.
And for us, test-based nutrition is, even over the past few weeks, we've tested multitude of different people from different professionals, naturopaths, personal trainers, all swear, my body will be in balance, it's fine. Your omega-3 to 6 ratio should be sitting at a 3 to 1 balance. Even kids born nowadays, because of what the parents are consuming, are no born in balance, right? That's alarming. But the major thing is, if we should be sitting in a 3 to 1 ratio, so test to see how your diet, how your lifestyle, any supplements you're taking and the foods you're consuming, how effective is it in your body? Is it causing a positive impact in your health, or is it having a negative impact? And we can test that. And it's a simple dry blood spot test that we test, send it away to the lab. It's the most accredited lab globally. There's about 10 highly accredited labs globally, and we're partnered with one of them. It's called the Vitas Lab in Norway.
Right.
So it's independent testing. It's nothing to do with the company itself that does the nutritional element. But the problem lies in, if we're consuming all these omega-6s through the processed foods, even if we had a healthy, balanced diet, eating fish constantly,
You'd have to eat it every
you'd
day,
have to eat it
basically.
every day, but you still
Which isn't
wouldn't get
healthy in
enough.
its own.
Yeah.
Because
But,
of mercury and things like that.
but do you know the one thing? So when we talk about omegas, we talk about omegas, and it's like, we need them because our bodies don't produce them. We need them, but we're not getting them through our foods, right? So we look at chronic disease and illness and all these different things, and you can touch on dysbiosis and stuff like that, the leading cause of chronic disease and illness. But if we're consuming all that and we're not getting it through our foods, I thought, sorry, I'll take omegas or cod liver oil and I'll be fine. And that's what I've been doing for 8
Did
years.
they help?
Well, I thought
No.
they did, right? Do you know? And no.
She's like, no.
No.
They don't. Like in 2018, there was a report published called the Cochrane Report. Anybody that's watching this can access it, right?
Right.
Do your own research, like empower yourself with your own health. Don't listen to other people and second-hand information, because there's so much misinformation out there. People need to really stand in their power, take control of their own health and say, right, I've had enough of the bullshit I'm hearing here. And go and read the Cochrane report, 2018. There is not one omega supplement in the market that is efficient or effective in the human body.
So, is it just a? Do you feel it's just an industry then to get people to buy these tablets?
It's just a misinformation, a lot of misinformation about it, because what they done, later studies found out that you can take the omega, right, but what happens is, say you take omega
Oxidised.
supplement, right, and you put it into your mouth, it oxidises the minute it goes into the mouth, right, meaning the whole point of taking the omega is, so remember all these cells, the 37 trillion cells, the whole point of taking the omega is so it goes down into the cell membrane so that it's creating happy cells. But what happens is, if it oxidises, it's not getting into the cells. So it's not effective in the body. So they need something called a polyphenol, right? Which I'm not going to get a big debate on
We're going to go into a
but
science lesson here.
a polyphenol keeps the omega safe, basically, right? And it goes down into the cell membrane and it creates a happy cell. That's basically what it does. Your omegas and your cod liver oil don't have that,
Right.
So it's a missold industry.
So it only does part of the job, is what you're saying?
Not
Doesn't
even.
do anything
It's
really.
Not
it's
even.
not effective.
Nah.
None at all.
The Cochrane report is there for anybody to see in 2018.
So is it published enough, the Cochrane
Aye.
report?
Yep.
Just research it.
Yeah.
Research it, you'll find it. If no, hit us up and we'll get a copy to you.
So does like what you're doing right now, does that help?
Because it's got the polyphenols in it.
Right, okay.
And that's where the gap in the company were looking for a gap in the market. And that's where the polyphenols came in with the omega-3 for it to be effective. And you could test yourself. You test yourself on day 1. You start on the balance oil. You test yourself on day 120 because that's when your red blood cells regenerate themselves. So you actually know, you've got proof there that that is working on a cellular level.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. So how did you get, because you're very invested in this, very passionate.
Yeah, 100%.
What got you so invested and passionate?
I'm a coach, right? So for me...
Explain you're a coach in what field?
Okay, so I think what I bring is the perfect balance of science and spirituality. So I do like quantum energy healing. And I love it. I love helping people evolve in all areas of life. And when I'm looking to work with a client, I'll look at the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body, the spirit body. For me, it's about creating balance in all aspects in order for them to fully evolve. What I was finding with my clients was when they were coming to me, maybe depressed, low mood, things like this, just losing direction in life, I'd tune in with the physical body. And what I was finding, 99% of my clients, and if any of them's watching this, they'll totally agree, deficiency, inflammation and toxicity was 3 alarming factors that came up in near enough every first or second session with my clients. So for me, I then used to pass my clients out to a naturopath or a health coach, and they would get their supplements and all these different things. But how did I know that was effective? How did I know that was the best for them? Yeah, we can look at symptoms and we can look at what this ingredient does and put them on a supplement. But how do we know that's really effective? That always didn't sit right with me. It didn't sit right with me. And I was somebody myself, so being a coach and working for that aspect, but also my passion comes from my own health journey the past 3 years, where, everybody looks at you and goes, but you're looking
You
great.
look fine.
Yeah, we get that.
But you even feel,
We get that a lot.
but sometimes you have days where you're actually like, I'm actually feeling all right.
That's
Yeah.
your day
Inside
most
what
of
the
the
hell's
days.
going on, like we have no idea what's going on in our bodies, don't we know? Like we genuinely do not know what's going on.
You're just going by how you
And
feel,
I was
really.
shocked. So I had this problem and I was looking for a solution, if you like, where this issue with my clients, right, is this the right thing for them? Putting them on the supplements and they would go on them long term and whatever. I was somebody that was taking £210 a month of supplements because in my own health journey that I was on through professionals putting me on these supplements.
Are you okay to talk about the health journey?
Aye, 100%. I'm quite open about it. I've shared it all through my Facebook and stuff like that. But 3 years ago, well, you know when COVID all started, right?
Yeah.
My hair's like mega thick curly. If you look back at my Facebook, you'll see that. I lost 70% of my hair. Nothing to do with vaccination, because I don't believe in vaccinations. I've not been vaccinated, but that's another story. But I took...
I'm not vaccinated
I
either.
took a trauma response to COVID and I lost 70% of my hair.
To the illness
Aye,
itself.
to the illness itself. I had COVID 3 times and I took a trauma response. I lost 70% of my hair. I was totally an emotional wreck. I was wearing headscarves, spent a fortune in all these different things. You know what it's like when you lose your hair. Sometimes your hair's your thing, and you're like, you just
It's your confidence.
disempowers you. Aye,
You've lost a part of
completely,
yourself.
100%. And for me, that was the start of my immune system being so compromised. So I was kind of getting over that, and then I was in the house. My youngest daughter, she's 19, and I says to her, I don't feel well tonight. No symptoms leading up to it, but I just didn't feel right. Something wasn't. And all of a sudden, I was in so much pain, like under my kind of ribs. Remember, it's like it was all this pain, and all of a sudden collapsed. The ambulance came, and emergency surgery the following day. They needed to remove my gallbladder. So when they removed my gallbladder, they had left stones in. I'm going to cut a wee bit of a long story short because this would lead forever. But anyway, my pancreas was compromised, my liver was compromised, and I got pneumonia after the surgery. And I went on a downward spiral with my health. I then went to the doctors who was trying to put me on more medication. And I'm like, but why am I going on this if my liver's compromised? Because that's going to impact.
Affect your liver.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I went down the whole natural route. I was taking supplements, doing all these different things. I was just coming out the other end of that, and then I collapsed, and I was taking these severe migraines. I thought I took a stroke. I was in hospital for a week, and it turned out it was some god of hemiplegic migraine. Totally floored me, and if you suffer with that, you'll know how it's chronic. It's absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Like, totally floored. That room, you can't even talk. I felt as if I was going to be sick. So it was one thing after another, but last February was my biggest scare with my health, where when they took my gallbladder out, they put a pocket of fluid. They dropped a pocket of fluid in my right ovary. And they told me this. They says, look, we've dropped a pocket of fluid. It's only fluid. It's going to be okay. I then went for further testing, and it was like polonium that was in my right ovary. And what I've later found out, and I don't know the truth behind this or no, they use that for x-rays and stuff. Do you know anything about that, Laura? They use that for x-rays, and I was like, this is crazy. How is this
That's
toxin?
dangerous then.
How
You
is
can only
this
get a certain amount of x-rays.
toxin
can
in
you?
my body, right? So anyway, I went on a health journey for that, and they actually says to me, we're going to do a full hysterectomy to remove the ovary and stuff. But I went on my own health journey. So everything kind of worked out all right for that, and I went on like different treatments. I was up at Ross Hall. I was under a really good consultant up there, and I was doing a lot of energy work as well. That's when I went on my supplements, because I was like, I've always took supplements. I've always seen the importance of doing that. But last year, I upped my supplements. So I was spending over £200 a month in supplements. So when things just wasn't sitting right with me later on in the year, it was a friend of mine that says, get tested, Martha. And I was like, get tested for what? Check to see if the supplements you're taking, everything you're taking, your health's been, really bad for the past couple of years. Get tested. Let's see what the hell's going on with your body. Right, okay, and I get tested, and I was like, what should I be sitting at? 3 to 33 to 1 I was sitting at. And I'm like, hold on, so this is like the supplements I'm taking right now are not effective for my body. Because once again, as Laura touched on, the cell membrane's so damaged, you're not absorbing some of the nutrients that's coming into the body that the body needs.
And your cells
Your
then
cells
fill
are
up with
just-
toxins and
Aye.
things, and then become
Inflamed
rigid
and
inflamed.
aye, and they're no happy, healthy cells, and they should be. So for me, that was alarming.
So does that originate for your gut? With the absorption thing?
It's not so much for your gut, isn't it? No, it's like your absorption. What would you say? It's like what
From
you-
your cells.
From your cells.
from your
Yeah,
actual
right,
cells.
From,
Aye,
it's
yeah,
from your
But
your
you
cell
get
membrane.
inflammation in the gut as well. When you've got a poor microbiome or dysbiosis, which we call it, that is when your gut has got too much of the bad bacteria than the good bacteria. Then you can get things like leaky gut, IBS, issues like that. That all comes from
I get my problems with the gut
Yeah.
constantly.
yeah.
Because we forget, like, the immune system's in there.
Yeah.
Your immune system's
Yeah, it's-
housed
yeah.
in your gut, and then you look at the link between gut health and depression,
Yeah.
and
80% of your serotonin levels are made in the gut. That's one of your happy hormones. So if you've got an imbalance in the gut, that's going to have an impact on your mental health,
Yeah.
whether it be depression, anxiety, a lot of that stems from your gut.
That's mad to think of.
it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
That's
how-
kind of scary.
Yeah.
Really
And get-
interesting.
You think you're doing the right thing with these supplements, and you were actually doing yourself damage.
And that's the thing, because there's so much misinformation out there, and I've worked with supplements for years, and I've worked with some really high quality, amazing supplements. But last year it was like a total eye opener even for me, where I'm like, hold on, you think you're doing everything right, so. And once again, it goes back to that whole thing when folk go, oh, but you look great, so you must be doing something right. But inside
doesn't
my
mean
body
nothing.
that means nothing.
That means
you know,
nothing.
but do you know what? we're
We
living
get
in
so
a world.
fixated on
Aye.
the outside that we neglect what's going on the
That's
inside.
it.
Yeah.
We're missing
You know.
a key factor here, and it's
Yeah.
like if you want to, if you want to take full control of your health, do a wee simple test that's going to determine if your diet, your lifestyle, and any supplements you're taking, it's got a positive impact or a negative impact.
Or early detection
Yeah.
of, you developing some form of chronic disease or illness by, finding out how healthy you are on a cellular level.
Yeah.
And
That's
when I done my
interesting.
test, for years, I'm a supplement girl as well. I've always went down the kind of holistic side. I've exercised, for years, and I do make, most of the time, good food choices and things. But when I tested, I was sitting at a 26-1, which means that I had high levels of omega-6 and, a reduced amount of omega-3, which means I had inflammation in the body. So I was lining myself up for developing some form of chronic disease or illness. Now I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism last year. But again, whether that's due to me having chronic inflammation. So I'm kind of working on trying to reverse the thyroid issues that I've got by improving my
Are you
inflammation.
getting what you're doing? Is that helping?
I don't know yet. I'll need to get my bloods done. I'll find out when I go and get my bloods done to check my
Because
thyroid.
you're a nurse as well, aren't you?
I'm a nurse, yeah. I've been a nurse for 16 years. So that was that's really the driving factor for me as well about this health campaign, because, I've seen so much chronic disease and illness over the years. And, people coming into hospital, and it's not due to the ageing population, because these people that are coming in are in their 40s, their 50s. They've usually got 1, 2, maybe 3 ailments. They're on a handful of
They're getting even younger.
medications.
They're getting younger.
They're getting
Kids
younger.
with type 2 diabetes, kids with arthritis. That was never heard of.
You were diagnosed young, weren't you?
Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah, 22.
So you'll be
That's
type
what you're
type
seeing,
1.
isn't it?
No, I
No.
thought MS.
Oh, MS.
Yeah, MS.
I thought you meant diabetes, sorry.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with being a nurse as well, or, a healthcare professional. We don't cure illness and we don't prevent it. We treat it. We treat the symptoms. They come in, the damage is done.
Yeah.
You're
but
just managing.
we're just managing. Fair enough. They come in, they've got an infection, you give them antibiotics, that's different. But on the whole, we're just treating the symptoms. So there needs to be something done. People need to be educated about
Do you think prevention?
Prevention.
prevention.
is key.
Prevention
but
is
see,
key.
the thing is, you look at these big food companies, right? And you look at, it's crazy, it's absolutely crazy. And it actually makes you a wee bit angry, if anything, because you look at what they're doing with the ultra processed foods. Like I'll maybe sit with a client and I'll say, let's go through what food you're eating now. And they'll tell me, but I eat healthy because I eat Weetabix and I eat this. And I'm like, that's just all ultra processed. Like,
Weetabix
we need
is
to
so
start
bad for you.
educating people.
Is it?
Oh my God,
What about
aye.
porridge?
Porridge is all right. Like,
Yeah.
you're kind of
I'll have a bit of
nice
porridge.
organic porridge for my breakfast and stuff like that.
Don't want
But
to say my breakfast. Don't ruin it for me.
What's your breakfast? You've got to say.
Cheerios.
Cheerios, oh my
Oh,
God.
honey Cheerios.
No.
So.
Yeah, honey Cheerios.
Right.
No,
What about
but-
honey?
But do you know what? Like,
Honey crunchy nut? Is that all right?
Yeah, like that.
it's no. I just feel as if like more needs to be done. If chronic disease and illness is on the rise, people that's younger, much younger, and these are all peaking, something needs to be done. Something drastic. Where governments are not doing it, are they? Like, what are they doing to? It's crazy.
It's like your
crazy.
food companies and your pharmaceutical companies are big,
They want to
they're
keep
big
people
money
out.
making companies, right?
Yeah, they're keeping the wheel
The
going
food,
round with their
the
food
stuff they're doing.
companies are
People out.
keeping us sick, so we'll go to the doctors, It's
Yeah.
There's no. There's
And then
no
there's
money
people
to be
like us
making
that
healthy
suffer for it.
people. That's
Aye.
exactly
Yeah.
it. That is it.
And I mean, I do, like, I'm a nurse, I know pharmaceuticals have their place, I'm not disputing that, but I just think the whole pharmaceutical approach is wrong.
Do you think it's money based rather than treatment based?
No, really, no.
I do.
Well,
You,
I hate
Don't beat her in the
what
bush,
you
like,
say,
you don't care.
That's my own opinion. I think there's a lot of people feel the same, that it's just money making,
And another thing as well, I've spoke to doctors and that at my work, and you said this earlier, Martha, like they're not really trained on nutrition. They get a wee,
3 hours.
3 hours training on nutrition.
I don't know, to be
They're
honest.
trained on pharmaceuticals, how they work, how they
How drugs
help
work.
reduce symptoms. You know, where's the prevention in that?
But that's just masking the problem. It's
We're
not
just-
getting to the root
So
cause.
it's-
of what-
it's
Do you
about
feel
getting-
the industry or like doctors and that should be taught this along with
I think there
the
needs
drug
to,
side?
you need to open the perception of people.
Yeah.
Don't you? It's like more needs to be
There,
done.
there needs to be more
To
an
look at
emphasis
that,
on.
if the healthcare system we've got right now is not working and people's health's declining, what more can be done as a whole? What more can be done to help people, to educate them on even the basics of processed foods?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
And I mean, even despite the advances to modern medicines, healthcare, people are getting sicker. So it's
Yeah.
clearly not working what they're doing.
No, it's
There
definitely
needs to be
not
some
working.
sort of intervention.
not
There needs to
working.
be something where we need to open our mind up to a new way and come out of this loop of all this shit that we're consuming. And I'm not saying, like, I'll still have days where I eat crap. It's not
Aye,
as if, but it's
oh, dear.
everything in moderation. But the new, when you look at things, it's like everything's just
Even the
ultra-processed.
foods that you think's healthy, you know, when you
Well,
really
absolutely not.
look
Like
into
plant-based
it.
stuff is horrific for you
Well,
some stuff is
vegans are
just-
like your most unhealthiest people.
in the world.
Aye.
But it's like I was speaking to like a
Yeah, all that meat alternative stuff.
Aye.
That is,
I mean, what-
that's
Mhm.
ultra processed.
And also the
Yeah.
foods that you think long lasting. Like, what the hell are they putting in these foods to make them last for
They
weeks
last
and
longer
weeks?
than me.
Then it's like,
It'll still be living when
Mental.
I'm not here.
exactly.
It'll still be in somebody's cupboard. That's the thing. It should be. Do you know what I mean? I'll be passed and gone and there's still a tin of something in their cupboard.
That
Oh,
you
I've
can
still got
open and
another
eat.
couple of years on that.
It's so
It's-
true
aye,
though.
it's crazy.
But it's not
Crazy.
about disputing things and it's
No.
not about miscalling
No.
people or saying this or saying that. But it's just saying, look, what we're doing isn't working. You know.
So you need an alternative.
Yeah.
Do you
We
ever
need
find
some-
like obviously the body's different for everybody?
Aye, everybody's different.
Everybody's
not one
different.
size
Do you just
fits
come
all.
across that in your testing? Like I can take drugs that Rosie can't take, and vice versa, because of your body types. Do you just come across that in your testing? But some people are okay, but some people really need the help.
I mean, 97% of people that do this test are out of balance.
Yeah.
Doesn't
crazy,
matter
isn't
what.
They've
aye.
tested 1.2
That's so
million,
high.
1.2 million people, right? But see higher figures than that. See, when we talk about the omegas being your essential fatty acids, do you know it's estimated that 6.2 billion people are
Are
deficient.
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 6.2 billion, not even
Yeah.
million. They're deficient with and that's the building blocks of your
And
health. That's what you need.
you believe that can lead to like autoimmune.
Chronic disease
Yeah.
and illness, the breakdown of the body. So we can heal through our foods. There's so many studies been out there.
So do you think it's just a process food? Because like you don't really hear back in the day when people were
But that's it. See, when your
catching their
grannies
dinner
were
and
like,
cooking
Aye.
it.
See,
didn't
when
really
you look
hear
at when you look
our
at the
diseases
numbers,
back then.
yeah, if you look
that's
at the
it.
numbers, of chronic disease and illness for 10 years ago to now, the numbers are like increased so much, and you know, I've lost my train of thought now. But yeah, it's when you look at the numbers, they've
Yeah.
just increased
Do you think
massively.
it's modern day societies
and it's
increased
our
these
modern day
illnesses?
diets,
it's
stress,
our modern diet, my lifestyle, it's doing it.
stress, and
Self-harming.
medication.
It's a form of self-harming, isn't it?
Self-sabotage, eating all the wrong foods. And
Yeah,
It's crazy, isn't it?
But
Because they
it's-
post all this stuff as healthy eating, 5 a day and all that.
But
rubbish
but it's
shit.
you
hard.
look
Like
at the advertising, but that's what it is. It's advertising. It's like how many times does kids see something on the telly? Oh, I want that, because
Aye.
the
or if you're
advertising's
good,
to
you'll
pull
get a
you in.
sweetie.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
Or if
I'm
you're good,
guilty
I'll
for that too. Like,
and I'm
right.
no.
I'm guilty. I'm addicted to chocolate. I cannot deny it. I have an addiction to chocolate. I'm wake up during the night and have to
You
have a
need your
bar of
test.
chocolate kind of guy.
Never seen as a
But I know I shouldn't because I actually do have an autoimmune disease and it's terrible what I do.
Yeah.
But
And that's the thing, you know, a lot of us know what we
saying
should
that
be
she did
eating.
some
You know, most
But
of
we
us
know,
know what we
don't
should
we?
be eating. We know that we should be exercising more. But due to our busy lifestyles, and it comes down to money as well, no everybody can afford to cook healthy organic food every night from
absolutely
scratch.
not. No, in the
But how do
current
the food
climate.
companies no make the foods healthier then?
Aye, aye.
In a mass production level,
Does that not
rather
come
than
down
it
to
being...
a lot of what you think about organic foods and things like that? It comes down to a lot of taxes and things that are on farming.
I think it comes down to a lot
Money.
of our government. I think
Money.
it's where government... where
Farms
they need
and
to do
local
something.
highways are stretched so thin. It's
Yeah.
hard to mass produce for farms now because they
Yeah.
don't have the resources. But it's cheap to mass produce for an in-house farm.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Which is processed to anything. Like you
Yeah.
say, it's a money thing. It's a money thing.
Aye.
So you're just getting into that vicious looping cycle of how can they make more money? Because there's no money in good health, is there? Really?
Not everybody's healthy.
isn't.
What's the need for industries? It tackle ill health.
So we need to do more. We need to do... And if we can do our bit, you know, and that's how we decided to kind of partner up with us.
So
to
how
make
do,
it work.
because you two are from different parts of the country, how did you come together in this venture?
And we've been friends for a number of years, haven't we, online?
Met online, yeah, and then just obviously we share the same kind of values,
Yeah.
same kind of ethics, you know.
I think
with-
I was just shocked with my results, and I shared it with you
Aye,
for like
and
a
I was
lesson
like,
point, and she's like,
holy
"No
shit.
way."
How could
I was
her
like-
how could her results be like that? And Martha looks amazing, you know.
I was doing everything right, Laura. Like I couldn't believe it. I was totally, and I think after my own health journey and starting to come out the other end of that, and I was following advice from naturopaths and health coaches and eating healthy, exercising, drinking my water, doing all the things you're meant to do, stopped all medication, and I'm like, why is my body still out of balance? So that's what we get talking about, and we started doing our own research and kind of looking, and then I tested my mum and I tested my dad and I tested my wee boy, and I was like, wow, more needs to be done.
Yeah.
Did it terrify you?
It
Never
scared
mind
me
yourself, but
knowing-
then your family's a different level of
It
scared.
scared me because, like, my wee boy's 6, right? My oldest 3 girls, they're older. My oldest 2 girls live in Australia. They're 26 and 27 this year. Got 19-year-old, and I've got wee Lincoln, who's 6. It scares me with the fact that last year when I went through my biggest health scare, and they says about hysterectomy, and my tumour markers were elevated then in February, and they didn't know what was going on, and it was a kind of, do we need to remove this? Do we need to do this? That scared me with the point of view, what if something happens to me? Who's going to be there for that wee boy? And I think
Right.
reality hit home for me, because I'm like, you need your mum, you need your dad, you know, you need all these people in your life. Like, what the hell? That hit home for me, and I panicked. And that's how I went on this, not so much that mission at the time, but I started doing more for myself. And then when I came across this, I was like, this is a solution I've been looking for, not just for my clients, but for me. So it ticked all the boxes for
So,
me.
if you've got all your families doing this,
I wouldn't say all of them.
No, I've
But
not
I've
got
got-
mine
people
yet.
still have their
I,
own
you know,
rights and
and I
what they
think
want to do.
I'm due
Yeah.
to retest myself again. I know the difference I'm feeling in my body,
yeah.
but I'm due to retest after my 120 days, so I'll be surprised
I'll
with
be
my
due to
results.
get
'Cause I was
retested
33
as
to
well.
1,
You were 30,
33 to 1, and that was
That's
somebody that was
higher than
taking £210 a month of supplements, if no more.
It's crazy to think the amount of money you're spending on supplements.
Yeah.
Many were you taking a day?
Must have been taking about 16. That came from a naturopath that was telling me to go on these supplements, but my body did need them. My body was needing something. But what I was taking wasn't effective.
That's crazy. So, see what you said, it's good for prevention. Do you think it's good to help current? Because obviously, me and Rosie have very bad inflammation attacks and things
I
like that.
think if you can reduce your gut health,
And
your cell health,
Yeah.
and
Or your inflammation.
your immune system, you can work on the 3 things, then there's a lot of studies out there that shows the impact. Even just doing your own research, if you get an omega-3 supplement that's beneficial, do your own research on what's the benefits of omega-3 and go into a wee bit of research with it. And you'll find there's a lot of positive clinical studies out there.
See, when you actually give the body what it needs, it's got an amazing way of healing itself. You know, by giving
Yeah.
it what it
Yeah.
needs.
It's
And
an
it doesn't
organ that
matter what that
regenerates
is.
itself.
Aye, yeah.
It doesn't matter what that is. It's like you're giving the body exactly what it needs to create balance. So you're reducing the symptoms of whatever's going on in the body because you're starting to feed the body what it actually needs rather than giving it what it doesn't want and what it's rejecting.
That is interesting. That's piquing my interest.
Yeah. I think we would see when, obviously, when we came across, when you first contacted us and then you sent us that information last night, I was like, oh, this is totally wasn't what I was thinking about.
Right.
And we started reading it, I was like, oh, that's so interesting. We'll start like, watching the Hingmies, and then we were talking about it like that. Well, that's kind of piqued my interest a lot.
I know.
'Cause
And that's
we're in
the
the stage
thing.
where we want to help ourselves as much
Yeah,
as possible.
Yeah.
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 And I mean, every
We're not perfect at it, but we want
No,
to, do you know?
everybody's
Yeah.
the same. It's trial and error
Yeah.
to begin with, isn't
Yeah.
it?
and every other person that you speak to nowadays, or certainly that I do, they've got some they've got some issue going on,
Yeah.
whether it's gut health, chronic pain, mental health problems, autoimmune
Yeah.
issues, skin conditions. You know, that all stems from inflammation on a chronic inflammation
Yeah.
on a cellular level. If you can look at reducing that chronic inflammation,
Yeah.
you know, and reducing those symptoms and maybe, you know, reversing your issues, then
Yeah,
there's something in
I
it,
have
you know?
heard of like, I've never heard of this before, but I've like the carnivore diet and things like that. People have ate solely meat every day,
Yeah.
and they've reversed some autoimmune deficiencies they've had.
Yeah.
Like Michaela Peterson, like Jordan Peterson's daughter's an advocate.
Yeah.
I know, but they've went to eating just meat all the time. So people are kind of, there is ways to try and reverse some stuff. You can't cure it, but you can reverse it, some
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's quite interesting that way. But see, when you talk about this, do you ever get pushback from it?
Pushback from who?
Like anybody in
Anybody.
general? Because we
No,
we
with
we
this.
because
No,
we are.
because people are, when soon as you mention
Yeah.
test-based nutrition, right, and say to people, right, you eat a healthy diet or you take your supplements, right, let's get you tested. Let's see if what you're doing is actually impacting your overall health. They're not going to say, half of them are like, they didn't say no. They'll be like, all right,
Yeah.
I'll get tested. Maybe
Yeah,
to
so
prove a
people you're
point.
actually speaking to are people
Maybe to
of
prove a
wanting
point,
to
but
have a
then-
healthy body.
I've had
Aye.
it with people saying, no, I know that 100% the supplements I take, and then I'll rhyme off like what I've been taking and how effective and what my results were like. And then they'll go, oh no, but I'm fine. And I'm like, well,
Prove it.
prove it.
Let's
Take
see.
the test, because if no, you'll get a full refund.
Yeah, because
Your
you
body's
do.
in balance, you'll get a full refund.
Yeah,
You tick all the
Right.
boxes, you're in balance. You're
Are they
good to
shocked
go.
when they see their results?
Yes.
aye.
Yes.
And when
They're
they get the
people are trying to
results
be
and they're
healthy.
But these are
Aye.
people now that's actually supporting us, and they're actually like, do you know what? How can we partner up with what you're doing?
So what
How
kind of
can
people
we-
are they?
Well, initially, the past wee while, we've spoke to a few naturopaths, dietitians, nutritional experts, personal trainers. So people that's got influence over health and lifestyle with other people. That is like, do you know what? This is ideal for my client. I need to get this out here. People that's clinicians, like all different. Even people, just everyday people.
yeah, just
That is like, I want to
people
help my
wanting to
family.
improve their health or
You
they're
know.
sick of feeling like shit all the time or
Just run down,
know.
fatigued, low mood, all these different
Yeah.
things. And it's like, I need to try something. This isn't working. What I'm doing is currently not working, so what else can I try? And it's like, let's get you tested. Let's see how out of balance you are, how imbalanced you are, and then let's start a protocol with you.
It's interesting. The kind of people you named there, like sports people and things like that, they're obviously people interested in having
Yeah.
a healthy body. They're actually trying to do that. Do you ever
So
get
it's
people
people
who
from
come to
one
you
end
and
of
don't
the
have the
scale.
healthy body
Oh,
and don't
yes.
have any interest in it?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a
Who
few.
might just have a wake up call and go, I need to sort my shit out.
Aye, that's
or
exactly
they'll be
what
like,
it
I
is.
can, I'm out of balance, I'm not taking that test.
But that's exactly what it is, and that's who you want to help. That's
Aye,
who
that's-
you truly want to help, because we're living in a world where sometimes you're existing rather than living. You're
Yeah, I get
existing, you're normalising your pain.
Aye.
You're normalising, well, I've just get this and I've just get that. That's no normal. We shouldn't be living like this.
That's your
we should,
daily
aye,
lives.
and we should be
It
doing
is,
more.
isn't it?
And it's like,
You're-
But it
Yeah.
shouldn't be like
No,
that.
it
you
shouldn't
know,
be
and
like that.
It doesn't have to be like that either.
We had a conversation about that. No
Yeah,
longer.
privately.
yeah, and it's not good enough. So we're passionate, aren't we?
Aye,
We're
We
like,
can
that's
tell.
all we talk
Yeah.
about.
We
It's
can
all we
tell.
talk
I
about.
love it.
We really just want to, we know, how this can impact so many lives,
Yeah.
you know. Oh God, I'm getting emotional.
I know.
Oh.
I'm seeing it
Oh.
with my wee boy and stuff as well, and the difference in him. I'm seeing it with myself, and I know exactly. I don't know what my results are going to be after the 120 days, but I know they're going to be a lot more better than
Do you
what they
feel
were.
different?
100%.
Aye.
I can
Yeah.
talk from a woman's health point of view that we'll maybe know what to cover in the podcast, but I can talk from a woman's health point of view where I was crippled with period pain, all these different things, and it was just like soul destroying every month for a week. I was in agony. And I actually stopped, didn't I, at Christmas time, my product, and
Yeah.
I was like to her, I'm going to stop this for a week.
Just to
Because
see.
I want to see, because I know I'm due my periods again. And for about 2.5 months there, I was absolutely fine. I had no pain. I had no spasms. I didn't have that bloating. I didn't feel that tired way. And I was like, it's Christmas time. I'm going to stop for a week just to see. And what was it like? I was absolutely dying. Chronic pain, spasms. I wanted to go to my bed, and I was like, I'm getting straight back on that, because it was a test for me myself.
Yep.
So I can feel the difference myself. I can feel it in my energy levels.
I definitely
This
feel
will
it
be
in
a
my
product
energy
I'll
levels.
just consume the rest of my life. I'll not stop taking this now.
And it's no products, it's products that we need. You know
Aye.
what I mean? It's what our body needs. And a lot of the time, people will say to you, right, take this because that helps with that. And it's a shot in the dark when you're taking, supplements or that, because everybody's different. We all
Yeah.
have different needs. We've all got different issues going on. And yeah, it's just when you give the body exactly what it needs,
Yeah.
it's got an amazing way of healing itself.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting. Like, obviously, we take a lot of medications to supplement our
Yeah.
lives in different ways, but
Yeah.
we know there's a lot of side effects and things to the
Yeah.
stuff we done. Well, you
Yeah.
can.
Some are not too nice.
No.
Some
Yeah.
are not too nice at all.
Some
and you'll
involve-
probably they've probably prescribed you another tablet to counteract the side effects of that. That's what often happens. They'll
Then you're
start
in
you
that
on
big loop.
something for
Well,
this,
I'm always say GPs do that.
but wait, then I will
They're
have to give
specialists
you
for
something for your bowels because that's going to make you constipated.
Yeah.
You know, before you know it, you're on a handful of
Yeah.
medications, causing toxins within the body and so
Yeah.
many side effects.
So I'd be interested in seeing what my test would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Very
That's
interesting.
fine.
It's just to check
Sort
just
you
how
out.
your diet and your lifestyle is impacting your health. Or
Yeah.
is
It's
it
about
impacting
taking
positive
control
or
of your
negative?
health, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's quite an important thing you just said there. Because we aren't in control of our health at
No.
all.
No,
Yeah.
you're just going by, obviously, you know, what the professionals
Trying to manage the
tell you.
symptoms.
And you're
Yeah.
just
what you were
managing the
talking about,
symptoms.
Just managing the
Yeah.
daily symptoms.
and like you're just kind of not even living, just surviving.
You're just kind of
Just existing by.
coasting by.
You've
like,
just accepted that
we've
this,
had, yeah,
this
we've had to
chronic
make our
pain
own
is
lives
because
in
of
our own
my...
way
Yeah.
enjoyable
Yeah.
to as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like I did this. This is my way of distracting myself for the daily struggle. You know, Rosie's on board and things like that as well. It is, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Distracts you, but
It
in the
really is.
background, well, we are still suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In the
Yeah.
background, we're still like leaning on each other for therapy.
I fell into the wall earlier on.
Really?
Because I have balance issues. Like, I
Yeah.
had, when you talk about inflammation, I had transfer myelitis in my spine last 2 years ago. And I've never fully recovered from it. The nerve damage is permanent now. So I was walking along the corridor and I fell into the wall. And the colleague Kai out there's like, "You alright, mate?" I was like, "No, I just do this now and again, mate."
Oh.
Just for the help anyway.
What a shame.
That's a shame, though.
But like, it's like you say, we manage our lives,
Yeah.
ruin the illness, and rather we're not really
And
living
yous
our
have maybe
life.
got to that point, I don't know if yous have, but I've accepted that this chronic pain is what comes with my illness.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
If you fully accepted that,
No, probably not.
I've just like this is my life now. I just need to get on with it. I will say I've accepted that, and that might be the wrong attitude. I don't know.
so can we change your mind then?
Well,
Can we
you've
help
been
you?
changing? Would you say you've been? I'm intrigued to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would love to get you guys tested and just see what you're sitting at and just.
Well, I
If we
know
can
mine
work
will be
with
off the chat. I'd go for 100.
No, you wouldn't, because you probably wouldn't be here if you were sitting at 100. No, but it's knowing where you're at, because then you can work to bring the body back into balance. And if it means even reducing your symptoms a wee bit for what you're experiencing the now, to manage your life better than what it is the now.
Because a lot of your
Brilliant.
pain issues is due to the inflammation.
Inflammation.
If you
It's
can
all
re-
comes to
so
inflammation.
if you can reduce
You
that
can target
inflammation,
that.
you're going to reduce your symptoms.
Yeah.
It all comes from inflammation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know it comes from overdoing it as well.
Yeah.
Like I was saying to you, I couldn't use my left hand yesterday properly.
And that
totally went-
impacts you mentally
Mentally.
and emotionally as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
It's a
and it
compound
doesn't
effect, you know,
in a
it
way.
affects everything.
I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. I accepted this is my life now, so if my left hand isn't going to work, I've still got to enjoy my day some way.
Yeah,
But I would like for my left hand to work, if that makes any sense. Do you know what I mean? Like,
definitely.
if there's a way out there that I can make my life better
Yeah.
than what it is, yeah, I'd be open to that.
Yeah. Me
I'd
too.
be-
Yeah.
yeah, I'd be open to that. Like, let's say when you sent that over, I was actually last night. Oh, I'm very interested in this. This is like we were looking at it like that.
Yeah,
I've never heard of this stuff, and it
Yeah.
was so intriguing
yeah,
because obviously all we get told is management.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just purely treating the symptoms.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
management, just
Yeah.
symptom management,
Yeah.
and hopefully one day there'll be a cure. And don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but disclaimer out there, the level of care we get is phenomenal.
Yeah.
We can't dispute.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
I get it's not the people, it's sometimes it's the system. It can be the problem.
Yep, that's
You know that,
right.
you're a nurse, so like you know yourself. What people do on a daily.
It's just what they're kind of trained in, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I do get a great level of care. I know you get your issues. No, I do get a great level of care, but again, it's like you say, it's just management. Like there's nobody, there's not very much hope out there for us, is there?
No, so I've been told like to never not be like don't expect yourself to not be in pain. Like you've
No,
got to
that's
come to
fair
terms
enough.
with it.
It's not the way it should be.
Madness.
And I really am struggling with it. I can't come to terms with it because why?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I need to, come to terms with this pain? Like
Yeah.
that gets me down. I would say more than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
yeah, it does intrigue me. This whole thing.
It does. It certainly intrigues me. I'd like to know.
The body's got an infinite way of healing itself when you start giving it what it needs. I'm not making any medical
Yeah,
claims or
yeah.
anything at all like that. I'm just saying it's amazing what happens when you start reducing that inflammation in the body.
Yeah. See, like you said, you're not making any medical claims.
Yeah.
It's not.
Aye, that's it.
Do you get any pushback from the medical field on this, or do you
No,
get positive
I've
feedback?
spoke to-
Quite a lot of
I've
positive
had a lot
feedback,
of
yeah.
positive feedback speaking to people. They're just like, look, can I share a wee bit of information with you? I'm working on this health campaign and sharing the information. And, a doctor recently just come back and says to me, how did I not know this? Like, how did I not know this? And I'm taking that conversation further with them now. And we're opening up the perception of people because I remember even my dad being no well there and going to the doctor and saying to his GP, is there anything I can do supplement-wise? Oh, no, nothing at all he'll need. And I'm like, but I know from a natural point of view, if I went to a naturopath and they said, what can you recommend for my dad's X, Y and Z illness, they would put him on.
What drugs have we put them on?
Aye, but where the GP, it was just like, here's a prescription.
Here's
I
some
don't
pain
want
relief,
to
but
give him that if
I'll
that's gonna
prescribe
impact.
you something for your bowels because that's going to make you constipated, and I'll maybe need to prescribe you that
Yeah,
as well.
so you're in that pharma loop, and it's like,
What?
I'm taking this, no, I'm taking that, no, I'm
Madness.
getting this, and then I've got this symptom now, oh, and this has popped up here, so get a prescription for this. That's not the way it should be. That's managing the symptoms. It's not getting to the root cause of what's going on, and I think that's what...
Yeah.
And I think when you're looking,
That's
when
what
you're
they're
working
missing.
with the likes of Dr. Paul Clayton, who's the lead scientist globally when it comes to pharmaconutrition,
Yeah, I watched this video.
and
he's
he's
an- I
an
could listen to him.
It was
absolutely
an eye-opener.
incredible,
It was an eye-opener.
incredible guy, and he's so helpful.
He's
and
actually
such
from
a great
Edinburgh,
support.
isn't he?
Aye,
He's
and
from Edinburgh.
he's such a great
Does he
support.
work there, or is he working?
No.
No, he still
He's-
teaches
he's
part-time at
tra-
Oxford University.
Aye, but he's he's worked direct with governments. Everybody, his resume is like this. You're like, holy God, what this guy's done. And when you're working with the likes of him,
And Dr.
it piques the interest of some of the
Colin
medical-
Robertson as well. He's worked closely with a lot of sports people. He
Yeah.
actually got what was it? A team to the Olympics. What team is
He
that?
works with a lot of gold medal
Aye.
Olympics, and he works with top professionals, professional football clubs and stuff like
It
that.
seems in the right circles this is looked upon very favourably.
Yeah.
How's it not so publicly known?
It's
No,
just,
yet anyway.
It's
No
not
yet.
yet, but it
Oh
will
yeah,
be.
it will be.
We believe it will be
Aye,
very,
we-
very soon.
Yeah,
because
just
we
a
are,
matter of time.
and it takes for us to come on to something like this to raise a wee bit of awareness. It
Spark the
takes for us to
conversation.
go onto
Yeah.
our social media and raise a wee bit of awareness. It takes for somebody that's maybe watching this to go, do you know what?
I can relate to that.
I can relate to that, and I'm interested to find out a wee bit more. Reach out to us and have a chat. Let's raise awareness together. That's the way I look at
Yeah.
it.
Let's go on a health journey together. You know?
This
We're
is
all on
gonna-
our own health journey.
And it's no,
I'm
this
on
is
mine.
not just about
Martha's
Scotland.
on hers.
Aye, we're
you
all in
know?
it together. We're not saying we're perfect because we're not perfect. Like, I've had my challenges, you guys have got yours, you've had your challenges.
We've
But
all got our own,
what
haven't
can we do to create balance back in our body? What can we do that's going to empower us to be?
improve
And
our
it's not
quality
about
of
how
life.
we feel the now. It's like, how am I going to be showing up next year? In the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? Is there steps I can take right now
Yeah.
to make my life a bit better in the future? I know.
Yeah.
For me, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
I absolutely love your determination to
Like,
raise.
we are very
We'll change the
passionate.
world. Yeah, Martha.
we will change the world.
change the
We
world
sit
yet.
on Zoom calls, we're like, oh, do this and we'll do that. And we're so going
But it shows, by the way.
Yeah.
This really shows it, and it's obviously piqued to our interest a hell of a lot, and that's because of the way you two are so passionate about it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
If you wasn't speaking to somebody who's so passionate about it, I don't think I would know what you were talking
Yeah.
about. You've got to grab
You
something.
just
You've,
Well,
and
alright,
you've got,
okay.
we've got, you have to be passionate
You've
about
got
what
to
you're
be.
doing, you
You've
know.
got
And
to be.
when that shows to other people, that's when they build trust in you, you know. It's like the no liking factor. When you trust somebody, you know, you have to trust somebody if you
Yeah.
if it's to do with your health and stuff, you know, you've got to have that trust.
And
with
you've
them.
just been speaking to other nurses because they've been kind of you know, you've been speaking to them, you've been speaking to people for the medical professional as well. You're starting to get that interest coming through to say, well, they're realising, hold on, this system isn't working. What more can be done then? Let's open our eyes to something a wee bit different.
Yeah.
For a different perspective on personal health. I know.
Yeah.
Seeing
So-
that, see in that sense what you said there, this system isn't working, does that affect you? See, like, you are both in the medical profession in your own ways. I mean, you think, go,
Aye,
system,
I feel
I'm-
like
this
it's
system
quite
I'm dedicating
disheartening
my-
for me, you
That's
know?
what I mean, like, you're dedicating your life to a system that
Aye.
you feel doesn't work.
I
Is
trained
that
as a nurse to
mentally,
help.
does that take you?
Aye, like I trained as a nurse to help people with their health,
Yeah.
but sometimes I feel I'm doing the exact opposite, you know, because as a nurse, you know, we give out, not all the, there's different obviously aspects to nursing, but a lot of the time we're giving out tablets, we're treating the symptoms.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know, it's just, it doesn't sit right with me sometimes, you know.
That's what I
and
mean. Is it disheartening?
it can be
Yous-
disheartening
yous
because I
feel
feel
there's
like
a
I'm
better
not
way it could
helping
be
that
done.
person on a level that I want to. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? In a more meaningful way as
So
well.
many guidelines and so many things you can say and you can't say, and there's things you would
That's
love
what I
to
was
say
going
that
to
you
say.
can't
You
say.
just have to worry about
And
stepping on toes.
You've
and-
got
Aye,
to,
we
you've
have
got
to
to
watch,
make sure
yeah.
you're very professional. You can't make medical claims. There's things you would love to shout about, and I'd love to share a million stories with you on here right now.
We can
you
put it on
can't-
Rumble. You can say whatever you
Aye,
want.
well,
yeah.
let's go. Let's make that happen. No, but really, you're so restricted with what you can say, aren't you?
And what you can
Do you think the
do.
system's designed like that?
Aye, of course it is. It's a
Designed
money-making
to
system.
So they've got
You've got
control
your
of what
food
happens and what
industry,
doesn't happen.
you've got your pharma loops, you've got, it's all a money spin. That's all it is, it's all a money spin. Let's just keep people sick. But there's people out there that's trying to pave the way forward. There's people out there that's trying to shout, but you've got so many governing bodies.
But
that,
they didn't know where to go
Aye,
for
you
that
don't know.
help
Or
either.
how many people do you... Oh, I'm getting into a whole different tunnel now here. I'll just
not
stop
rhyme with
before
that.
it. No,
Not rhyme with
honestly,
that.
I'll go
No,
on
I
and
love
on and
it.
on.
We love it
But,
because, yeah, it's a real daily
Yeah.
But it
life
is,
as well.
it's all people
what you are
we-
complaining about, we live on a daily
Yeah.
basis.
Yeah.
So we understand that aspect to it.
So like when you look at like people with natural health, like, you know, when they're really, really passionate about that, they're standing up and they're miscalling and they're calling out this and calling out that. What happens to them?
Shut down.
They're shut down or no here or they went
Aye.
missing. You know, it's like, oh, I'm gone missing.
You're saying that like I've been
Aye.
taken out or something.
If you didn't hear from me in the morning,
I'm deadly serious. I am serious.
Do you think that actually happens?
Are you kidding me on?
that's another
Are you having
podcast
a
in
laugh? That's
itself.
another podcast.
It's in itself.
If my good friend Mike Daly is listening, Mike, you will be on this next podcast because that's your thing.
Aye.
So no, honestly, I do believe that. I'm no, and if people told me that years ago, I would be like, what planet are they on? But see, now my mind is open to a lot more when it comes to natural health and what people don't want you hearing and do want you hearing. And aye,
I get that.
I'm
I
zipping
get
at
that. 'cause
that.
like, with us, there is a almost close to a cure out there. Stem cell replacement.
Yep.
But you can only get it in places like Russia and Mexico.
Yeah. It's no walk in the park either.
No walking apart. It is a rough ride, but for some reason the Western medical profession doesn't want to touch it.
And the criteria probably that you've to get that you'd have to jump through.
And how
so
should
many.
that? How should that be?
I
How
know.
should it be? Postcode related or country related? How should that be? Like, if there's something out there that helps people genuinely take control of their health, how should it not be worldly available?
But again, it
It's
comes
an
down to money.
expensive treatment,
It's just money
Yeah.
again, isn't it?
and there's a lot of people with MS in this country. So there'd be a lot of money the NHS
So
would have to
they need to
spend.
look at root causes, don't they? A wee bit more, and what can the governments do, or what can? Aye. It's
Do you think?
just-
Do you think it's the health system, the governments, or just the people pulling the strings in these systems that are the problem?
I think it's
There's a
a
lot,
lot
And
of
a
the
bit
big
of
wigs.
things.
A
I
lot of
think
the
there's
big
a
wigs
lot
at
of
the
people
top,
trying to do good when
Aye,
it comes
yeah,
to
there is
what you
that.
sell in doctors and stuff like that. But I think they even feel sometimes that they're fighting a losing battle. Do you know, and speaking to friends that is in kind of medicine and natural health and feel different kind of angles. Aye,
It seems like the system seems to have disheartened you a bit with this
I
conversation.
think it's kind of lost its way a little bit over the years, you know.
Because you seem so passionate about, well, humanity, to be honest. You come across it,
It
you
is.
care about humanity.
yep.
That's, and you feel like we're shooting ourselves in the foot, probably, or we're letting other people shoot us in the foot.
I
With the
think-
system they've implemented.
Yeah, and I think it's just like let's just go back to basics for a wee minute. Really, let's just think about it for a wee minute. When our grannies were wee, was there such high rates of MS,
No.
cancers, strokes, heart attacks, type
No.
2 diabetes?
My granny lived
arthritis?
till she was nearly 90.
Like, my gran had 16 in a family, right? And I mean, some of the stories she used to share as Wayne's, like, I could kill myself laughing. It's absolutely hilarious, but you never had that then. And they were maybe, like, running in the fields and picking tatties and for the dinner and all the veg and all that kind of stuff, right?
They're buying the meat
But
from a
clean,
butcher
healthy eating,
as well.
aye, right? I
And
think
the
that-
women, a lot of the women back then, they didn't work. You know, they stayed
Aye,
at
that's
home.
it.
They had
And
time
cooked
to cook
dinners.
meals and
Home
bring up
cooked
the
meals.
kids. You know, they had home
But
cooked
there was
meals.
none of this processed and ultra processed. That came in. What was it? This is World War II around about that time. The ultra, because we're keeping it canned and had to package longer and stuff like that.
For the boy, but you can understand
Aye,
that
of
because it was
course. Aye, of
rations
course.
and things
Yeah,
like that.
But then
Yeah.
it's just became chronic now. So we need to look at
It's became a part of daily life rather than an
we
emergency.
need to look at that. We need to address. So if this is happening and chronic disease is on the rise, what can we do as a whole? But if our government's suddenly going to
Back
be
us.
willing to stand up and make changes, what chance have you got?
Do you think you're fighting an uphill battle?
I don't believe I'm. I
No.
think I'm quite determined with my own health to impact my own family's health and to impact anybody else that is looking for better health. Like, I'm up for that challenge. I'm up for that. And I don't really, to be honest, I don't really see it as a challenge. I just hope that by the time my kids are older, I've got a 6-year-old being my youngest, I hope by the time Lincoln's older, that society has changed a wee bit more when it comes to healthcare.
Do you think it's a societal problem?
Aye, I do believe that. Like, even in
Society
Australia,
has made it so easy for us to pick up the phone and order a takeaway.
Yeah.
You know, we don't need to
Do you
cook.
need to pick up a
That's
phone for
it.
that?
We don't.
I know.
Just click it
Well,
with
you
your fingers
can
and
go-
tap it with your fingers. and
That's
then
it. But I even look at
it's
different.
easy access to everything.
Aye, I remember watching Dr. Paul Clayton talking about the blue zones, wasn't it? And that really interested us.
He's
The blue
wrote
zones
a
are
book
like
about the blue zones.
Aye,
Yeah.
and it's like, do you know the tribal areas worldwide, right? And you look, they call them blue zones, right? And it's where they still live off the land the way our ancestors did years ago, right?
You get a lot of like
There's
Papua
no
New Guinea and
cancers, there's
things
no
like
strokes,
that.
there's no heart attacks, the chronic disease and illness, like minimum.
So, but are they actually testing these people?
Yeah. Yeah,
And they're
blue
finding
zones.
none yet?
They're
Yeah.
blue zones worldwide.
That's crazy.
It's on tribes because they've not got the big pharma companies, they've not got the big food companies.
We've not get surrounded by
They're
technologies
just
and
still out
things
in
like
nature, and I'm not saying right. We need to go and build a shed and get a spear again and sit and fight deer and all that. I'm not saying that, but
And wear leaves.
what changes can we make? Do you know what changes can we make?
Can we use modern society in order to make the changes?
And I went into the garage as an example the other day, and Lincoln says to me, "Mum, can I get some?" And I says, I'm around every shelf in the garage, and I'm like, "What can you have in here?" There's none. There was not one healthy thing in that garage that I could give that away and to eat. Bananas at the counter, that was it. Packet of bananas.
So,
Every
are you
single-
strict with it?
I'm no strict with it. Like, I'll let him have a wee sweet. I'll let him have a bar of chocolate. I don't let him have cereal and that anymore. He will have porridge with blueberries. Like, I'm very conscious of what he's putting in his
Can I
body.
get mine off the cereal?
And then I go to my mum's though, and my mum's like, "Don't tell your mum you had that strawberry tart." And then he'll come back and go, "My granny never gave me a strawberry tart the day." And I'm like, "Your granny gave you," or he was in my mum's pub and it's like, "My granny never gave me Chris." I'm not really strict to him. I'll give him, but I know I'm giving him what his body needs to create balance now.
So he can have a wee bit of leeway.
So he can have a wee bit of, but I know, like, Lincoln was diagnosed with autism. I always known for it was 12 months that there was wee traits there, and he got diagnosed last year with autism, and I've just recently brought him out of primary 2 to homeschool him because I feel as if I'm best supporting him rather than in the school system. And he's needing that wee extra support now, so his mental and emotional well-being is so much more important to me than his education right now. So I know that I need to be giving him, if I give him sugar, if I give him anything at all, it triggers him so much. His mood is completely different. And I've noticed the changes in him, my wee boy.
Balancing the diet's helped him
Because
with his symptoms of
because
autism, with his
when
autism and things like that.
well, this is a personal point of view for me because what I've found with Lincoln is it's his wee cognitive mind. He's concentrating a wee bit more. His wee conversations were more in depth and longer. And if you've got kids that kind of struggle with, attention and stuff like that, you'll understand. You notice the wee signs, and it's the wee things that I've noticed with him. and I actually get really emotional when I called the other week, and I was sharing with one of the lasses about it. And I was like, I'm noticing a difference with him. If I can see that after a couple of weeks, imagine him in a couple of years. Like, this is just my personal experience with him. Because I know when I tested him and I seen his results, I was in tears. I was like, I've failed my child. That's what I felt as a mother.
Did you feel that? I feel you?
Oh, 100%. I went, I failed my child. And I really took that personal. Then I was like, hold on, it's a modern diet, it's our lifestyle. But what changes can I now make to make sure he's a wee healthy person? Living his wee best life.
Yeah, that's good. But it says a lot more about you, because some people could read that and go, oh, they're nonsense, I feed my wee all right.
Of course. But that's it. If we're going to be, and I'm not saying don't take your child to McDonald's or stuff like that. Like, all kids need a treat, but we have, just as you touched on, it's like, right, if you're good and you do your homework, I'll take you to McDonald's. If you're good, I'll buy you a sweetie.
It's not a treat.
It's
an
not a
every-
treat. It's not a treat.
It's a
not
bribe.
treat.
It's actually a bribe, that. If
And
you
it's
do
not
this,
a
I'll
good
give you a
bribe.
sweet. It's a bribe.
They take in that though.
Yeah, no, they just say, aye, sweet.
I know, but then I feel bad sometimes because Lincoln's like, Mum, can I go to McDonald's? And I'm like, no, we can't go there. You were there last week. And he's like, Mum, can I go to McDonald's? And I'm like, no. And then I'll say McDonald's is getting decorated today. We can't go there. I seen the man with the paintbrush, and he's like, you're telling me lies. I try and come out with stuff like this. But what can you do?
Do you feel guilty about that, or do you just
I
say,
do
I'm doing
feel
it for the
guilty.
good?
I do feel guilty, but I know deep down I'm doing it for his greater
Aye.
good. And
Yeah.
it doesn't mean to say you're not going to go buy McDonald's. I'm not going to be sitting in there with him at some point. Do you know, I allow him to have a treat.
Unfortunately, we
That's
live in a
absolutely
society
fine.
where you still need to
Aye.
give these. It's not a
Well,
perfect world
If we
for what
could,
you want to do.
yeah, it's tough sometimes, isn't it? It really is. But I know that I'm doing the best I can for him now. And that's all you can do as a parent, isn't
That's
it?
that.
That's what you
You
can
want
do.
the best for your kids as well, eh? So
Aye.
you will do anything for them.
Of course,
It's your
you
main
will.
focus as a parent is to
Yeah.
give them the best
Yeah.
chance in life.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I look at Cassie and Brooke, they're older now, they're 26 and 27 this year, and they're out in Australia, and it's a different way of life out there, even for what we've got here. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Even their kind of, the healthcare system and stuff, they're more open to natural ways, whereas we're still a wee bit closed off over here.
They're
aren't we?
quite health orientated, or more health orientated over
Yeah.
there. I used to live in Melbourne when I was younger, and every morning we had to run round the school before
Yeah.
we started in class. Like, you had to go out running. You know, you do see anything like that here.
Oh,
No.
no, not at all.
But you had to go
You
Yeah.
can
for a
eat
run
custard,
right round the school. before you-
processed mince and tatties and stuff.
Cake
I don't
and
know, it's been a
custard.
long time since I've been at school. It might have changed a bit.
Nah, it's no.
No, but I think a lot of things is just needing updated, if you like, isn't it? Like,
Do you feel with the modern society's got to a stage where we don't need to rely on mainstream media? Do you think with the emergence of alternative media like this, YouTube and things like that, and do you think that will make what users try to put across easier?
I think it will, because there's so much misinformation out there.
Yeah.
Like, I've not read a newspaper for, I think it was my teens.
Or
I
watch
don't
the
watch
news.
because
That's
it's
what I
just
mean.
full of propaganda. It's just
Yep.
scarcity. It's just a lot of shit, basically, and I've no time for it. I've no time to. We've got enough
Get
crap
that
going on in our
negative.
lives without
Aye.
filling our head full. Even the radio. Like, I was sitting, Lincoln was in the car yesterday, and it was like somebody found dead, and he's like, "Mummy, what was that?" And I'm like,
Off.
you know, it's horrible. It's,
Do you think it's all designed to bring you down?
Of course it is. Of course it is. There's a method behind everything that they do, and it's all scaremongering. It's all control tactics. That's what I believe. And I know, I
I
remember...
believe that as well, and I don't mind
Aye.
saying that in the camera.
Aye, like, I totally believe that a lot of it's scare tactics. Look at all that we went through with COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, look
Yeah.
at that, really, what we went through.
Don't get me wrong, like, there was some people that needed protected for COVID.
Oh, of course
But
there
the whole
was.
world didn't need to shut down for that
No.
nonsense.
No.
But who would have thought the world came to a standstill? Who would you have predicted that? No.
No.
Aye,
I would never have predicted until
Ah,
I went
would
through
I?
it that would have happened.
because
Unless you watch The Simpsons. You know.
wish. But yeah, I think the world was open to a wee bit of mind control.
Yeah.
I think actually the COVID thing is more woken people up to it
Aye.
than
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
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 They tested the water, and then towards the end of it, people said, nah, enough's enough.
Yeah.
People rebelled in the end, but it was a shame when you seen families like my cousin lost her man in COVID, and
Sorry to hear
it was
that.
absolutely heartbreaking, like, for what they went through, and you know, just watching all that was absolutely horrendous.
It was a tough time.
Aye, it definitely was.
Like, I got diagnosed during COVID in
Did
a room
you?
myself with no family because of COVID restrictions.
It's horrible.
God. That's
And
You
been
know,
awful
look at
for
all
you.
the people that had to, over FaceTime, say goodbye to their families.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Like there was so much important moments in life that were taken away from people never that you can never replace or get back. Yeah.
yeah.
Or like the 20 grand fines people were getting for going to their pals' houses.
Yeah, it's
Crazy.
All
crazy.
while Partygate was happening and all they had to pay was
Exactly.
£50.
I know, like,
Just saying.
double standard.
Yeah,
isn't
it was.
it?
Yeah, it was a rough time, but I think more people are open up to. All right, well, yeah, we've got to be careful at times with illnesses and that.
I think-
You're not having full control of my life ever again.
No.
Yeah.
And I think with what happened with COVID as well, people are maybe starting to pay more attention to their health.
I think more people are aware to everything. now.
Aye.
More people is open-minded. They're
But there's
more
also a lot
open-minded to
that-
realise.
Are as you say, stuck in that loop system, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even going to get into the whole vaccination
No,
thing because
no,
that's a whole different podcast altogether. that-
Yeah.
They get their channel shut down.
Sorry,
lose
you're
my
bad,
job.
you're not coming back. I know.
Nah, but I get what you're saying there. Like, I had my own problems with the vaccination. I didn't get vaccinated, but I didn't get vaccinated actually on medical grounds because I was going through diagnosis at the time. So I was lucky in that sense because I had my doubts and reservations. But I can understand people that went for it and understand people that didn't go for it
Yeah.
because they were scared into a situation, weren't they?
We're forced into it. My mum was terrified and she was like, I was actually in tears saying, don't get vaccinated. Don't get... I says I wasn't even going to do this.
We
I
can
was
come
like,
back and do an episode for
Aye,
that
definitely.
again.
But honestly, it's a lot of people were scared into it, weren't they?
Yeah, it was a scary time.
Yeah, I was
Wait.
scared into it because I wanted to go. I wanted to go on
Abroad.
holiday.
Aye, a lot of people
Yeah.
just wanted
Yeah.
to fly, so
Yeah.
just go and
Yeah.
get vaccinated.
People
Yeah,
did
fly.
it just for that reason,
Just
or
for
to
that
just
reason.
go to work, which
I
was
know.
madness. The fact that you had to do that just to go to
Yeah,
work.
that's actually crazy.
Yeah,
like-
definitely.
What kind of place are we living in?
What kind of world we're living in?
You have to do this just
Yeah.
to kill yourself, just to go to work.
I know.
It's quite a scary thought. But on back to like, your campaign, because you are doing a health campaign and awareness for this, and it's why
Yeah.
you're on the show today. What is your goals for this?
Raise as much awareness as we possibly can.
Yeah, get as many people tested as we can.
Yeah.
Just bring about awareness, educate people, just help people, you know, with their health in a more meaningful way.
Yeah.
And I think being able to do that, you know, that's well, your job's
The goal.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal. Definitely.
Help as many people as we can
If the
because
company has tested 1.2 million people now, like we're looking to massively grow the numbers, and that's globally. But we want to make an impact here in Scotland.
Yeah.
You know, globally, we've got people worldwide that's willing to support us. Brilliant. But here is what matters.
we're
isn't it?
putting Scotland on the map.
Yeah, for better health.
Of that.
We'll be running
We're
for MP
in
next.
full support of that.
Lord for MP.
No, definitely. We've loved having you on. I've
Yeah.
been fully interested in this.
And
Thanks
I-
for having us
I
on.
know.
No
really
one
No,
appreciate
I'd
it.
actually like to have you back on.
No, because I
Because we
would.
get results
that.
of tests
Aye.
coming up.
Well, when you
Yeah.
get your results, we'll come back
We
on.
can
and
all
we
come
can
back
sit
on
here.
together and talk
Definitely.
about our
Definitely.
results.
Yeah.
But in the meantime,
And
we
we'll
have
have your second test done by our
Yeah,
results as
definitely.
well.
And also,
Yes.
I want to
We-
hear all about Fox TV.
Oh, I know. I'll talk about that next time.
Yeah.
Fox TV was an experience, but it was good. It was good. It was.
Are you going back
definitely-
on?
I'm due to go back on this November coming. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I
Nice
was over
one.
there in November. There, flew into Naples. That was a big experience, nerve wracking, but
Like
good.
Naples?
I can.
Naples, Florida. But just getting into that whole studio and yeah, it was a bit nerve wracking, but I done it. But it was to promote my business as a coach, and obviously I spoke about the test-based nutrition on it as well, which is
So it's
good.
giving you exposure worldwide.
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's powerful having that. So that airs, I think, January at some point.
I
So
know, I've
I'm
not
waiting.
even seen it
I'm
yet.
waiting for that to come out. But
It's not even out yet.
no,
Nah.
it's
To
airing,
be fair, I couldn't find it online. You know?
airing in
trying.
January. What was
It's
I
not
gonna
been
say?
aired. It's not been shown. Though,
No,
has
it's
it?
not
Aye.
been shown.
No,
There was,
that's
it
it.
was the programme was Women of Influence, I think it was called.
All right,
Um,
I think I know what you're talking about.
Aye, so it was that we were on. But in the meantime, we have got 2 events coming up, haven't
Yeah.
we?
One in Glasgow. And
Anybody's listening to this, and I don't even mean, I mean just interested in health, if you want to take control of your health, if you want to hear a wee bit more about what we're doing, if you are a health professional, if you're a PT, if you're working with clients and you're like, do you know what, I want to know a wee bit more, come along to the Gales Hotel in Irvine, Ayrshire,
Oh, Ayrshire.
6:30. The doors open for a 7 o'clock start on the 8th of February. We would love to have you there, or reach out to me on Facebook. It's Martha Jane Bradford. You will need to probably change your Facebook name because it's Laura.
Purely just because I'm a nurse, it's like,
Yeah.
You
be
don't want to be
careful. But
found.
I tried to verify my Facebook account the other day, and I didn't
Wouldn't
get
happen.
it because they couldn't verify because of my
Yeah.
name.
Because
So
you're Laura.
I'm going to hate change it. aye.
Yeah, but I mean, feel free to reach out to. I'd love to get you on the guest list if you guys want to come along.
We'd love to
These are-
come.
Yeah,
You said there was one in
Well,
Edinburgh
we've
as
got
well.
one in Ayrshire on the 8th, and we've got one in Edinburgh on the 9th, haven't we? I'll get the details on that. I'm sure it's the Marriott I run about there in Edinburgh, but we'll get the details so you. We would love
Yeah.
to have
We
you
will
there.
definitely
We'll
go.
definitely come.
Yeah,
We'll be there.
we would appreciate that.
Yeah, we would 100% come and see that.
Come and
Definitely.
support us because
I
I
know.
think you're going to be standing up and doing some of the presentations.
Station.
Yeah, we'll be doing a bit of
We'll
that.
definitely be there for that.
That's great.
We're in full support of you now.
Oh, brilliant.
Get the
And
flyers
we
out.
definitely
Yeah.
will. We'll come back along and I'll share my results. I'll bring up my 2 sets and stuff and my sons and yeah, get you guys tested as well. I think that's important.
I'm,
look
I'm,
forward
I'm
to that.
intrigued and a bit nervous about the testing.
It's me too a wee bit, but
I'm regretting my Big Mac before the show after the
Mac.
conversation. I'm like, oh,
and all the
God.
biscuits.
Aye, I'm going to have to get some bananas. You know, something
I know.
like
That's it.
No,
No,
that
but
good
if you can make the
microbiome.
small changes into it,
Aye.
the small changes is what it's all about. And if we can start doing that together, then
Yeah.
we can make a massive impact. We really can.
Yeah, definitely. It all starts with small changes at home.
That's it.
100%.
All starts with small changes at home.
Yep.
Definitely.
Well, Laura Muff, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thank
I
you
have
so
fully
much.
enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to part 2, by the way.
Me too.
I'm looking forward to part 2.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Pleasure.
Thank
You want to
you.
wrap it up?
Thank you to our guests, Laura and Martha. This has been Labelled Disabled, and we will see you next time, and we'll
Part
catch up with
two.
you.
See you next time, part
Bye.
2.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.